Hey guys, Dr. Ben, founder of Well Health and Chiropractic here, excited to talk to you about sleep, energy, and thyroid. Listen, this is one of the hottest topics. I pulled it on Facebook the other day, and everybody's asking about really energy, thyroid, and sleep. Like, how do we get more of that? Because we currently live in a culture that is bad. Listen, I might be describing you. If you're the type of person who, number one, is having a hard time falling asleep, I've got a fix for you. Number two, you might be the person who falls asleep but then wakes up at 2, 3, or 4 in the morning. I've got a fix for you, right? Maybe you're the person who falls asleep, sleeps all the way through the night, but you wake up and it feels like you didn't even go to sleep. You're just exhausted and groggy. I've got a fix for you. These are all hormone issues, and if you stay to the end of this video, not only am I going to show you all the quick fixes, but I'm going to show you how we can keep in touch and you can learn even more, because this is a huge topic that really is important. So, but first, before we talk about the fixes, I want to tell you, I need to explain to you why. How is this wrong? Like, how are my hormones so screwed up? The good news is your hormones aren't screwed up because there's something wrong with you. The reason your hormones are screwed up is because of your environment. You're either too stressed out or whatnot. So let me tell you how they work. First of all, cortisol versus insulin. So cortisol is your main stress hormone. It's the hormone in your body that actually stores fat. Most people know, like, if I want to lose weight, I need to decrease my cortisol. Insulin is the hormone that actually strips sugar out of your blood. Of course, all diabetics know how insulin works. When we eat things like candy bars and cookies and pies, and really bread and potatoes for that matter, our blood sugar goes up, insulin goes into the scene, takes the sugar out of our blood, and then stores it as fat. Now, the reason people get diabetic, by the way, pay attention to this part, the reason people are diabetic is because they eat too much sugar and they burn out their insulin receptors, and their insulin can no longer transport that sugar out of their blood. Now again, that's type 2 diabetes. Thyroid issues, right? Ready for this? Thyroid issues is a cortisol problem. Essentially, your cortisol gets raised too high, just like when you're too much sugar, you get diabetes. When you're too much stress, you have thyroid problems. Okay, that's how this works. So really what's supposed to happen is in the morning, your cortisol levels are supposed to rise up in the morning. Okay, that's normal. The risen cortisol levels actually what wake you up. And then your cortisol is actually going to drop throughout the day. And then when you go to sleep, they should be at their lowest while you're sleeping, and they rise back up. Okay, so this is going to be morning time and morning time. And that's what a normal cortisol pattern is supposed to be. If it is wrong, what is going to happen is your cortisol is going to spike up here, and then it's going to stay high. Now, this is going to be somebody who has a hard time falling asleep. Your cortisol levels are staying too high, and because of that, when it's time to go to sleep and your cortisol should be dropping, it's not. So that's when your mind is racing and whatnot. The other problem that's going to happen, again, that's your thyroid cortisol, is you're going to have an adrenaline issue. Okay, so this is the second thing that's going to happen. This is going to be somebody who wakes up at 2 or 3 or 4 in the morning. Oftentimes you're going to have your heart's going to be racing. You're having like almost frantic thoughts. And by the way, if you're having this, or your wife is having this, or somebody you know is having this, share this video, because this is the trick. This is why this works, or what's happening. Essentially, your cortisol is supposed to stay low to keep you asleep. The problem is your cortisol in the middle of the night, if you have burned cortisol all day long, your body can run out of cortisol, right? And when it does, what happens is your blood sugar tanks. When your blood sugar tanks, your body has a reactive mechanism where it will actually secrete adrenaline. Right? Adrenaline is your body's #1 way to mobilize sugar into the blood. Now, you're hearing adrenaline right now. Adrenaline like if I go bungee jumping adrenaline? Yes. The same adrenaline. So what's happening is essentially in the middle of the night, you're being woken up, you or your wife or woken up out of the middle of the night as if you are being attacked by a bear or about to go bungee jumping. Heart's racing, your mind is racing. And the problem with adrenaline is adrenaline doesn't just go away. Adrenaline has a half-life. Generally, it's going to take 45 minutes to an hour and a half for your adrenaline to come back down. You can fall back asleep. So what we have to do, again, I'm going to tell you the fix for this here in just a minute, but what's happening is our adrenaline is spiking. Now, the reason this is such a big deal is because your adrenaline and your thyroid are opposite of each other, right? So basically what's going to happen is when you're nervous and your body's secreting adrenaline and your cortisol is high, this is going to suppress your thyroid function, right? So I'm talking to you right now. If you're waking up 2, 3, 4 in the morning, you're probably also the same person who's having a hard time losing weight. You might be somebody who's eating salads and you're gaining weight, right? That's often because you're having a cortisol, thyroid suppressed. These are adrenaline, they're suppressing the thyroid. The third big thing is our progesterone estrogen balance, right? Huge deal, progesterone, estrogen. In our country right now, we have these estrogen dominance problems. These estrogen dominance problems are they're going to cause a lot of female issues, PCOS, you're going to have a lot of fallopian tube issues. I know that sounds crazy. It's going to cause a lot of fertility issues or infertility issues. And quite frankly, progesterone is a mood hormone. So when your progesterone drops, your mood gets crazy. And we know that because when women are around their cycle, their mood is erratic. I know I said that on camera, but it's true, right? And that's because we're having a progesterone, estrogen imbalance, specifically progesterone going down, estrogen going up. Right? So what we need to do to fix this is we need to make sure that these are in balance. Now, what does this have to do with cortisol? Here's the deal. When you're stressed and you have adrenaline high and that raises your cortisol, you have a hormone in your body called pregnenolone. Pregnenolone has the opportunity to either make more cortisol or make more progesterone. Well, guess what? If you're stressed out, it's going to make more cortisol. So basically what it does is it steals progesterone from your body. Now, all of this to say, if your cortisol is high, and even if it drops low enough that you can sleep, your body has a few of these circadian cycles when you're sleeping. If your cortisol is all screwed up, you might be asleep, but you're going to wake up feeling groggy. So the three big fixes you need to understand. Really, the first fix is sugar, okay? And you're going to hate this when I say sugar. Sugar absolutely screws up your stress hormones, screws up your thyroid. You have to decrease your sugar. It is an absolute must nutrition-wise. Now here's a quick tip. If you want to be able to sleep through the night right now, tonight, do this. Eat a handful of almonds or raw nuts right before you go to sleep. Cool trick. Right? Your body has the opportunity because that's fat and protein. Your body's actually going to burn that, and it's not going to be burning sugar while you sleep. Cool. And it's not going to make you fat, by the way. Your body actually has the ability to break down protein and make muscle while you sleep. It's a bodybuilder trick. Obviously, I'm a bodybuilder, and that's why I know. Just kidding. Right? Sugar. The second thing that we need to reduce here is going to be our stress. Now, obviously, when I say reduce your stress, listen, that's a conversation between you and the Lord. Personally, my scripture that I rest on is going to be scripture that says, you know, even if the sparrow doesn't have to worry about its next meal, how infinitely more does the Lord care about us? So essentially, if God's going to take care of a sparrow, He's going to take care of you because He cares about you a whole lot more. So we have to decrease our stress. Now, that's a whole big topic between you and the Lord to decrease your stress. Here's a couple of tricks. There are a couple of things called adaptogen herbs that actually give you the body the ability to kind of reduce the chemical effects of stress. We have ashwagandha, valerian root. Those are both called adaptogen herbs. In our office, we sell a product called catechol. That's going to be something that's going to reduce our stress hormone. Cool stuff, right? And the third one is my favorite one. This is the nerve, right? Now, this is the one, quite frankly, it's the one that everybody should be doing. And this is why me as a chiropractor makes a play here. And you say, chiropractic, what does that have to do with thyroid? Well, I'll tell you, it has everything to do with thyroid. Your thyroid and every other organ in your body are 100% controlled by your brain, right? In order for your thyroid to secrete the right amount of hormone for your adrenaline, for your intestines, your female organs, for this process to work, the message has to go from your brain, down the spinal cord, out the nerve to the organ, specifically the thyroid. Now watch this. If I cut the nerve to your thyroid, what happens to you? Obviously, your thyroid dies. It doesn't matter what you do, sugar, stress, nothing is going to make a difference if your nerve is cut to your thyroid. Watch this. What happens if you pinch the nerve of the thyroid? Now what happens to my thyroid function? It's decreased regardless of how much reduces sugar, how much reducing stress. It doesn't matter what you do, your thyroid function will be decreased if your nerve is pinched. Now, how do you get a pinched nerve? whiplash. Without question, whiplash. I have one of the largest wellness centers in the world. I personally have adjusted over 500,000 different adjustments. I will tell you right now that probably 97% of Americans deal with a whiplash. Wrecked your bike, too much time on a computer, maybe you're a cheerleader. By the way, that's such a huge story with thyroid issues. You know, these women who come in here and they're like, listen, I used to be a 110-pound cheerleader, 3 babies later, now I'm, 25, 50, 100 pounds overweight and I can't get it off. That's usually a pinched nerve issue because they're old sports injuries in their neck. Any type of a car wreck, if you've been in a car wreck, you've definitely had whiplash, and you definitely have pinched nerves, your thyroid. So what happens is we whiplash that neck, any type of whiplash here, these nerves go to the thyroid and they get pinched. Now here's the problem. There's a big fix here. We need to get those bones back in the right position to unpinch the nerves. In my office, we specialize not only in moving the bone, but working on the muscles, ligaments, and tendons to get the bone to stay. That's why we are literally one of the largest wellness clinics in the world. That's why I actually have been offered to be sports team chiropractors, turned that down actually so I could continue doing what I do here. You're going to love it. We actually are in the process of literally patenting and inventing the techniques of fully correcting the spine. That's why we see people like Tina, one of our great patients, came in. The typical scenario, she'd been in a couple car wrecks when she was young. She was 110 pounds when she was young. A couple babies later, she's probably pushing 180. She can't get the weight off. She's eating salads, doesn't understand why she keeps gaining weight. We brought her in, got her adjusted. I took her through our food university. So we changed her sugar. We talked about some stress stuff. Actually, we just put her on some adaptogen herbs because she had some stressful events in her life. We started adjusting her. Within her first month, she lost 30 pounds. True story. Awesome. She's losing weight, feeling great, and guess what? The energy comes up. It's interesting how you're having a hard time to work out when the energy won't come up. All right, if you're seeing this video and you're loving it, and right now you're on Facebook or YouTube, check out, we have a ton more videos that I'm posting just like this one on other topics. It is Well Health Centers, and that's going to be our YouTube channel. Well Health Centers is YouTube channel. Make sure to go in there and comment, share. I do check these personally. If you have any other video ideas, things that you'd like me to research and teach, I'd be happy to just put them in the comment section. Again, thank you for watching. Share this with as many people as you can. If you ever need a chiropractor, you want to be somebody in our system, call us up or contact us at wellhealthcenters.com.